If you're anything like me, you've struggled to find the right set of exercises to help you build muscular shoulders. Now for me, I was really struggling to find exercises that I could really connect with that mind-muscle connection with the muscle, that I felt like I could really progressively overload without other muscles compensating, and that just felt good for me. So if that's been your problem too, then this video might help because I've found a set of exercises that are working well for me, and if you've had trouble, they might work well for you too. The best part is it's only 3 exercises for the whole shoulder. And I'm gonna go through each of them in order of what I feel is most important. Now I tend to do a lot of pressing motions with bench press and incline bench press and push-ups. So I get quite a bit of anterior delt activation from all of that. So I put that kind of as my least important exercise. I also get a little bit of rear delt activation from pulling motions like pull-ups and rows. So that would go in the middle for me. And the most important part is the side or middle delt that doesn't really get activated by any of the other movements that I'm doing. Now, all you're gonna need for these is some dumbbells and preferably a bench that you can use. Now, I like to put the bench at 1 notch inclined and then lay on my side, bracing myself with my legs and my feet. And you wanna try to get the right sort of angle. So you don't want to lean forward too much because then you're taking the stretch out of the shoulder, and you don't want to lean back too much because then your arm's going to be resting on your body and taking away the tension in the stretch position. So you want to have a somewhat even kind of 90-degree angle, maybe slightly leaned towards your backside. And then you want to use the motion that goes out to the side and sort of slightly towards your legs. And that's going to allow the muscle fibers of the middle delt to line up more evenly with this exercise, and you want to really focus on the stretched end at the bottom there. So you might need to maneuver yourself to fit what feels comfortable for you so that you're feeling a lot of tension at the lower range there, and you don't have to stress as much about getting your arm all the way up, because once you're close to that 90-degree angle, the tension is now coming off of that muscle in question. So you want to make sure you're really focusing on controlling the weight as it comes down and ensuring you're getting a lot of stretch in the middle delt as you're coming down with the weight right along that line there where the muscle fibers are going. Give it a try and tweak the angle of the bench and the angle of your arm to find what works best for you. Now we're going to move on to the rear delt, and you're going to be in the similar position on the bench but slightly leaning forward, and your arm is going to be hanging towards the top a little more than it was in the other exercise. And you want to have your arm swinging at kind of a 45-degree angle relative to your body, focusing on the squeeze of your shoulder and keeping your arm at a slightly bent range and not using your tricep for this motion, trying to feel the squeeze in the rear delt there. And if you're on that 45-degree angle, slightly leaning forward and allowing your shoulder to drop a little bit toward the top of the bench, you should feel a really nice stretch in the back of your shoulder. And after you do a handful of reps of this, you should really start to feel that muscle squeezing and fatiguing right at the back of your shoulder. And I have found this working really nice for me so far. Again, change up the angle a little bit if you feel like you need to, and make sure you're using a light enough weight to really connect with that muscle and allow yourself to rely solely on the rear delt. And lastly, we have the overhead press with dumbbells. Now this focuses primarily on the anterior delt with a little bit of middle delt activation, and you can do this standing or sitting. If you want to work on more core tone, standing works great. If you want to work on more strength and ensuring you're really maximizing the stimulus, using a bench that is 1 notch below straight up and down, so you're slightly leaned back, is going to allow the muscle fibers of the anterior delts to line up a little bit better. It also takes away the need to stabilize your body, allowing you to generate more force through your shoulders, and you should be able to lift heavier weights with the seated overhead press variation, and make sure to let the dumbbells drop as low as possible for maximum stretch. So that's really it. Those 3 simple exercises, at least for me, have allowed me to target the anterior, middle, and rear delt in a more effective way that I feel like I'm really connecting with the muscle, allowing overload of the target muscle in particular, and getting those muscles fatigued. So I've been enjoying using these exercises for a while now, and I hope you will try them out and hopefully have the same success as I have. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please support me by dropping a comment, hitting that like button, and subscribe for more videos, and I hope to see you in the next one.